Welcome back to the show, everybody. Don't tell Mrs. Backup I may buy some crypto today. That's one of the headlines today. Take a look at this. We got Flare. We got the BIS. We got Digital Chamber of Commerce. And update for the SEC versus Ripple. Somebody roll that daggone intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here today. Give us a follow on TikTok, Digital Perspectives, no spaces, and Digital Perspectives News, no spaces, on Facebook as well. Take a look at this. We are $936 billion market cap for cryptocurrency. That's right, the whole market cap, ladies and gentlemen, decimated right now, currently falling like a manhole cover from the sky. Here's what I'll say. I was around when we went to 100 billion. Remember that one? Yeah, I was white as a ghost. But you know what? I don't think it's quite over yet either. I watch out for that rug pull on USD Tether. We've had more red flags and signals that may be the big poster child to the watershed of getting this space switched over to regulatory clarity, with possibly a stablecoin bill coming by the end of the year, according to Senator Gillibrand. We'll see. Bitcoin right now, 20,700 plus. We see Ethereum at 1,000 plus, and XRP is 32 cents, 49 cents per Cardano. Take a look at this. The range of XRP, 31 cents on the bottom, 34 on the top. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm loving this. I have loved fine art since I was a kid. One of my best friends in the whole wide world, his dad was a world-renowned waterfowl artist, and it has always stayed with me, my appreciation and love for art. And now I can invest just like some of the richest people in the world do, but I'll buy shares of commoditized art right here on Masterworks. There's no minimum buy-in, and this is some of the similar appreciations for these artists. Nothing is guaranteed as anything, but I tell you, this is absolutely exciting to me because I'm crushing the S&P. I'm investing and rounding out my portfolio with some of these investments, and you can get an idea of how much room is left to participate in the ones with the best appreciation, even if you're not really an artist and you're just an investor. So make sure you check that out in the link underneath the video. No minimums, by the way, no maximums either. We are 13 days away from an absolute explosion on inflation, says Frank Luntz, the political analyst. Take a listen.
I guess other periods where inflation finally rears its ugly head, but it's been a long time, but few things really get the juices flowing like seeing a grocery bill or a gas bill and just going, whoa. I mean, that really is, it affects everyone, and it's visceral, I think. Are you seeing that in polling?
Yes, we are. And the tragedy is that we've tried to explain this to the Biden administration because they're the ones that need to know, and they've refused the presentation. So on your show, I'm going to tell you what I would have told them if they had only listened. We are 13 days away from an absolute explosion on inflation. There are 3 holidays, there are 3 moments when Americans take to the roads and when Americans buy more food than at any other time of the year: Christmas, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of July weekend.
There you have it right there. And we're about to feel more pain, is what they are saying in that clip, than we already are. And we are feeling enormous pain all across the board. And I tell you, I take no pleasure in it. It is trouble for everyone in everyone's home, no matter how you look at it. It is a mess. Right now, let's take a look at this. 218 million XRP wired by anonymous wallets in these 2 exchanges as XRP is up 3.5%. You know, I always look at this and think to myself, this is a contribution to on-demand liquidity. Again, I have to make this point in such a time of this market shedding so much money out of this space. Make sure the projects you're invested in, you really believe in them, because you are seeing huge losses, as I am and everyone else are as well, now is a great time to ask ourselves, why am I invested in whatever the project is? And if secondary retail investor trading went away, does my project have enough use case that it could continue to grow and scale? And that's how I feel about XRP, not financial advice, my digital perspectives. I want you to watch this. This is probably one of the most powerful short clips you're ever going to see. John Deaton says here, Gary Gensler, I and 67,890 of my friends are reaching out to you like you said. We are waiting for you to do your job. How can the SEC police our financial markets if it won't police itself? This is from Crypto Law. Take a watch.
When you make a decision with other people's money, there's going to be some inherent conflicts. That's a situation as old as antiquity. Left unchecked, these conflicts might affect the quality of the advice that you receive and in turn, the financial future you have worked so hard to build. There are built-in certain concepts embedded in our regulation to protect you. These obligations protect all of us and build trust in our financial system. If you think that investment professional might not be following these standards, reach out to us. And everything we do at the SEC is to help protect investors, and we are here to work for you.
Only Congress has oversight on the SEC. Demand your lawmakers support an investigation. Connect to Congress today.
And there's your call to action, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Don't mess around. Go to Crypto Law and connect to Congress. I mean, this has really, really gotten so bad. But take a look at this to flip the coin around. Maybe it's going to get better for New York. Former Ripple legal exec or advisor Michelle Bond is now running for Congress in New York. She says, my name is Michelle Bond. I'm running for Congress in New York's 1st District. I'm hitting the campaign trail to make sure Suffolk County is represented by a conservative businesswoman, not a career politician. Well, there you have it. I hope, and by sharing this, I hope that the conversation for crypto clarity for New York residents can be a real talking point and a campaign point for her campaign. So there is that. Now take a look at this. Flare successful audit. Listen, I've had huge questions about Flare taxes and how it impacts the audience and the investors and myself. And, the truth of the matter is that, Hugo was not able to answer the question because he's not an IRS guy, and I get it. Plus, based on your jurisdiction and in the world that part of the world you live in, it is obviously going to vary depending on that alone. However, I do feel it is a very legitimate question. I know people that, had realized a loss on the drop that they had received versus where it is now. So it was the concern that we had, but this seems to be an upside to what is happening for the progress of Flare. Successful audit, launch details, end of next week. Now, listen, this has been a couple years in the making, so it'll be interesting to see just how fast they can get off the ground now that they've had a successful audit. I did see Hugo Filion at the Consensus Festival. I didn't have a lot of time to stop and talk to him, and he was having a very detailed conversation with another gentleman. And I just told him as much that I'm as excited about what Flare has going on and the opportunity that is in front of them. And I look forward to covering it and seeing it unfold. And there was a lot of unnecessary static at the time that I believe kept the adults in the room from really addressing the real issue that came to pass. Look right here. There's a new Ripple partner. Its Fluff World is excited to announce an unprecedented partnership with Ripple to bring open metaverse to life via the Root Network. Here's how Ripple and XRP Ledger will open up a world of possibility for our blockchain and communities. Take a quick look here. The Root Network is at the heart of the future infrastructure set to give creators access to seamless smart contract functionality and application building while natively supporting asset bridges to the Ethereum network. Hello. Partnering with Ripple on the Root Network brings exciting possibilities to our communities, extending the utility of XRP as the default gas token while unlocking XRP Ledger's global infrastructure for Root Network developers and users. For nearly 10 years, the XRP Ledger has served as the best-in-class network for settlement and liquidity of tokenized assets. This partnership connects the Root Network to one of the largest Web3 communities and provides the XRP community with access to NFTs across our ecosystem. How about that? I tell you, it's just amazing the things that are happening. And this reminds me, by the way, of what Brad Garlinghouse had told us. Just like Amazon focused on books and then they started selling everything, I believe this is that moment that Brad has leaned into and saying that we're not just focused on payments anymore. The use case and application of XRP Ledger and Ripple products is now branching out. Take a look at this. Amid the challenges plaguing the cryptocurrency lending firm Celsius Network, there are reports that investors may not provide more funds to bail the platform out of the troubled waters. Here's what reminds you of what Kevin O'Leary said yesterday. He used the term gated. And I think investors are seeing this also. And I didn't know this term until yesterday. But gated basically means that you know that the customers understood that their assets have been frozen in transactions. They can't move anything. So now all your customers are standing at the gate, pounding the gate. And the moment that you lift the gate and allow them to get access to their funds again, what are they going to do? They're going to take it all off their platform. So you're going to see a shadow bank run on that platform, and it is going to be very bad, it appears. Looking right here from the Bank of International Settlements, they continue to build out with more testing and studies of CBDCs that eliminates intermediaries, financial exposure to boost cyber resilience. This is Project Sela, and named after an ancient Israeli coin. This is happening now between Bank of Israel and Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Now let's quickly take a look at this because it's a reminder that FedNow, the chief executive, Mark Gould, I believe it was, I covered this morning's video, will propel real-time payments into the banking mainstream launching next year, inside of 6 months we're looking at now. Excuse me. Now we have to ask ourselves, excuse me, how is that going to get done? Is that going to be software only? Or are we going to see some stable coins and stable coin legislation that really helps to kick this FedNow system into action? I am excited to watch. This is the library case versus the SEC. Shout out to you, Jim. He does so much for this space because he wants to. And it's really greatly appreciated. Library versus SEC says here, in the library case, the SEC consent. Library has moved for an extension of time to object to the SEC's motion to strike Library's amended expert report and also extend the time the SEC has to respond to Library's objection. So there's been an extension happening there. But this is just, I tell you, it's horrible what's happening to Library as it is Ripple. But it's all the evidence, Library says, the SEC has submitted regarding historical exchange of LBC is literally just screenshots of coin market cap. Wow. SEC is not an organization that is embarrassed very easily. Hashtag level playing field. You know, I also remind people, too, that it has been said by legal analysts that this case, Library versus SEC, is scheduled to end before the Ripple case? And if so, the judge could use it to inform their decision in the Ripple case. So we need to follow it very closely. This here from the Digital Chamber of Commerce, and we're getting ready to give you the SEC update. So hang in there. You're going to get it from Ripple case. Shout out to Perry Ann Boring for shining a light on the SEC restraining crypto as the Digital Chamber of Commerce shares right here. The senators got this right. The SEC has consistently utilized these backdoor attempts to restrain the crypto market instead of transparency and public engagement. The SEC continues to lead with enforcement. And then she shouts out here, thanks Senator Haggerty for leading this effort. I tell you, this is not going away, ladies and gentlemen. Even though it feels like it's not getting the attention, it actually is. And I think this should be added in, this 20-second clip from Yahoo Finance explaining that people were buying XRP and had no idea about Ripple, the company.
Ripple, the currency, the coin, is really just a back-end settlement token for these banks that use the Ripple network. But of course, these days, it's a mania. No one cares about that. They are treating it like they're treating Bitcoin. People are buying in and investing who know nothing about Ripple network. They just know that Ripple or XRP is another hot cryptocurrency.
There you have it. Nice look to finish the spot there. And it really is that. And we got plenty of affidavits at John Deaton's law firm to say and prove exactly that. Take a look at this as the U.S. Securities Exchange against Ripple has finally submitted the documents related to Bill Hinman's infamous 2018 Ethereum speech for in-camera review. Very quickly here in this article, it says that the regulator added that the submitted documents include 10 exemplar documents listed in Attachment 1. These memos were also mentioned in the Commission's letter for partial reconsideration. The SEC had used every tactic in the book to shield Hinman's speech documents. In the latest submission, the Commission has put the documents in 3 sections. The first include David Fredrickson's emails communicating about legal issues for the speech. This also contains drafts of legal advice given to Hinman related to the speech contents. David Fredrickson was working with Chief Counsel of the SEC's Division of Corporate Finance. While the second category of memos is emails from June 18, 2018. They were sent by Michael Seaman, Hinman's counsel, Fredrickson, and Valerie Sispanik. The email carries an attachment of speech drafts with implemented legal advice from different SEC divisions to staff of trading markets, known as TM, and investing markets, known as IM, were also involved, and then OGC, which is the Office of General Counsel. So let's take a look here. We will see from Jim Filan right here. Shout out to you again, Jim. They submitted the documents, and here they are. What's interesting about this, and we don't need to read it, what you need to see is in this, the highlighted ones here, right? Draft comments, Fredrickson, it says here, description, email, attaching thoughts on issues addressing speech, emails, attaching comments, addressing May 21st draft, emails, Hispanic, everybody attaching draft speech, again, attaching draft speech, comments on May 29th draft. Then down here we see again attaching new draft of speech in red line. It says here all the names that are tagged. It says attaching draft speech and requesting comments, right? And then here we see, and this is important because of what's being said here, attaching revised drafts, addressing comments, TM and IM, the 2 different divisions there that were cited earlier we talked about, and June 12th draft, and then emails attaching revised draft. So these are the documents submitted for in-camera review. What's interesting here, and it was brought up by, I think it was Fred Rispoli here, who says, he says, one very important aspect I could not tell from attachment 1 is whether documents are just the emails or do they include emails and attachments, the various comments to speech. So has that been answered? Because that is very unclear at this point. Here's the other point that was made that I thought was fantastic as well. Interesting, nowhere on the attachments does the SEC description of documents submitted say legal advice, but rather indicates they are general comments and drafts. How about that? I don't think that that's a small thing at all. Listen, this is our update on this day. This is where we are. Happy Friday. Know what you hold. This is crypto. Head on a swivel. You just never know. I'll catch all of you on the next one.